Recently, there was an encounter in UP which became a national news. The opposition, which were days before, raking up the criminal's caste and his religion to target the alleged Hindu government, that they are protecting Hindu guys, even calling Vikas Dubey terrorist, which I do not agree. The simple reason for that is a terrorist is the one who does violence for a political motive. Maybe he wants to get freedom, for example, or he has some religious ideas to spread. Anyone who has larger political ideas to promote and he promotes it through violence is known as terrorist. A person who does it for his personal gain is known as a criminal. So this is a difference. But the opposition will call him a terrorist just because his name is Dubey. He's a Hindu. That is the reason the opposition, which is predominantly a Hindu phobic opposition, I many times think they are even anti-India. And that is the same reason why the opposition is killing themselves. Because you cannot be Hindu phobic in a predominantly Hindu country. But they are doing it because they got away with that for the last 70 years without the population noticing it. But in this information era, it is becoming difficult. But there is some very good questions, unintentionally maybe, but they raised it. The UP government might be using the loopholes if we take the question seriously. It looks like the UP government might be using the loopholes in the law or in the system to eliminate these monsters who were using the system or misusing the system for their personal gains. It is a solution, anyways, a short term solution, though even if I don't stand with it. But it is not a solution which should become a norm. That is my personal thing. I see many of my friends, many people around across India are very happy with it. Just because many of us in Goa, which are like 1,000 miles away, we are also happy. I am personally, in a way, happy with it, even if I don't stand for a fake encounter. I don't have the means to prove it's a fake encounter. It will go through a process, and I believe in the system. The system will carry out an inquiry and they will come with the facts. This is what I believe. But if we consider the questions which are raised and they do make you doubt, they may make you think in the other direction. And even if that was a fake encounter, somewhere deep down I'm happy because somewhere I feel he was a criminal. But this feeling has definitely come through the media, and for me personally, I have certain people whom I know in UP. They have confirmed it, so they are my trustworthy people. So my filters, which are there, so I rationalize this information in that manner. But remember, in this country, media is no more free and fair. Maybe from 70s, from the emergency, here the media houses are less of a media and more of an advertisers. You find really very very few journalists who are through for their who are there for their passion. Most of them want to fly into charter planes and get invited into parties and all that kind of stuff. So this is a two-edged sword. When you use this short-term solutions to deal with a systematic problem, the people over here are happy because they really have no faith in the system. The system has failed the people, and that is crying out that we need to reform the system, we need to reform the police. I have the problem with the masses because we are not the people who have seen those darker days when we were under some foreign powers. I had my grandfathers tell me the stories how they had to fight And we are gifted. This freedom is gifted to us, and this freedom cannot be protected by idiots and fools and who are cowards. We have to be conscious and demand for a free and fair system, not for a short term passionate solution. I am not talking of this particular case because the UP government might know its situation and it might be using it for a right cause. But my personal belief is that any government duty is to not just solve the problem in a short term manner, but to do a holistic, systematic way, systematic revamp or systematic change. Because government, the people in the government are those people who are having the power to do so. So I personally am a fan of Mahabharata because it is such a complex and such a practical book which gives you a lot of solutions. So in my personal life, I usually go to it. We have, we as Indians, we have very, very what we call, advanced level of thinking. So we have four Chatushkoti logic. Logic is not just binary, one and zero, truth and false. We have shades of, you know, truth or false. And then we have even a way in which we analyze, in which we think about things. There is manas, which is emotional. There is ahankar, which is identity. That is what is your identification of yourself. You know. Then there is buddhi, which is intellect, and then there is chitta. When you understand, when you are at a level of your consciousness, chitta, which is higher than intellect in our tradition. And if you look at Mahabharata in that particular lens, you understand that in Mahabharata, Krishna is wisdom or a system, and Arjuna is action or a process. You cannot base a process, you cannot base a system based on a process. You get it? You should always base a process on a system. You cannot make encounters a norm and try to solve the problem. The problem is there is a big gap in law and order and the justice delivery mechanism in this country. If you want to make India a serious superpower, you should first see that law and orders and justice delivery in this country should be better. There should be police reforms because this police was set up by British. Remember, Jallianwala Bagh was done by Indian law enforcement or British Indian law enforcement agencies. Lala Rajpat Rai was killed by Indian police, British Indian police. This police was set up to, oppress the people. So I cannot blame the individual police officer because the training is wrong. The policing mechanism is wrong. There is a Latin saying, I don't remember it what word, but it says, who will police the police? This is very important. We eulogize police being strict, police beating up people in our movies and series and all that stuff. That is the reason. There are two reasons for that. One, the people have lost faith, which you cannot blame people for. And the second is simple, that there are some people who are chatu garidas who have no action in their life, who do not have any strength, so they feel good when someone else is beaten up. So that is a psychological illness which is spreading across the population, which should be arrested. Cowardness is becoming cooler and popular in a way. Civilized people don't fight. Civilized people don't get into stuff. But actually, that's the right opposite of it. Civilized people have a stand. Civilized people do think. The cavemen think of only survival, nothing else. So these are the things. I believe systematic police training reforms, policing reforms, and judicial reforms are very important. This cannot be a norm and this should be changed. How can it be changed? There are many ways. First thing, we should focus on police. We should see that more and more police personals are there to man the police station, so the workload, the stress load is managed. Second thing, we should see that whenever the police is there should be body cameras. Whenever he's dealing with someone, someone, any civilian, he should have body cameras on. So everything, whatever goes on, is recorded into that camera, and that can be saved for a month or 15 days. That's not a big deal. Second thing is FIRs. FIRs, you should not register it by it should you a civilian should not be forced to go to the police station and get the FIR registered through a police. Rather, it should he should have an technology solution as an app or something through which he could register an FIR. He could contribute to the evidence collection. He could contribute as in there should be a way where he can keep a tab on it, or is involved in it. In a way, the process should be very thought out, because there are other there is other things to it. It is a very process which should be thought out in its last new senses, like very deep down. And this is how there should be reforms, and so that this policing becomes really humane, really good. People get justice really fast, and people do not see. We are we have got this gift of freedom, and we have to be conscious. We have to be courageous. We have to be brave. We have to speak the truth, and we should not be driven by passion, by ignorance, by feel good factors. Okay, that is much more important. We do not become a part of a mob, rather, we all grow individuals. We all grow in our own way, and that is what the Hindu way is. We had various ideas which would come and debate, and we never killed any other ideas. Thank you.